you. So I'm Kenneth, Bitnation's Lillieholm. We just heard Sonia talk about the overall strategy. I'm going to talk more about how we're going to do this in real life, on ground, what kind of nasty legal tricks we're going to use, what kind of daily work are we doing. First of all, to support some of the strategies later on, I'll present this. This is like a general method called the legal method. And how is it judged in a court? How is he supposed to evaluate the case? And this is his method. First, you have to read the word of the law. If that makes sense and that fits the case, he can make a judgment. If the wording in the law doesn't really comply with the case, you have to search for former cases, also what's called precedents. Have judges in the past had the same kind of case with the same facts presented? And in many countries with common law, you have to precedents. If the same facts in one case are the same in the next, judge the same way. Then, if there is no former cases about it, they look for industry tradition. That this case concerns, do they have some kind of or traditions they follow when this conflict arises? Not so important, but there can be ministerial law reports and university research articles if they don't find any solution on the three points. Then you go more theoretically about it. It's important to know. So our framework and how do we go forward? We design it, and Sonia is of course very important in this. Then we test it and we maintain it. Very simple. And the real world testings, as Sonia also touched, is we can have very simple agreements. We can have marriages, ID systems, simple sales contract maybe. Low level stuff of contracting and doing agreements.
Again, it's not a problem.
So when we have disputes, the outcomes could be raised and solved. It could be raised and presenting ethical or unusual dilemmas. It could be arbitrated and the process ends, but one of the parties don't want to comply. What do? We have the process. They already agreed, both parties, that they this process if there is a conflict. But then whatever action have to be taken by the, let's say, the losing part is not taken. He refused to recognize the arbitration process. What can we do? I don't know if it's, because it's a difficult question, it's not like a simple answer. There could be many ways of handling it. Here is some known way of societies to handle disputes. Knives, hands, needles. There's also a court. There's many ways of doing it. What is the consequence of not complying with the arbitration process? What happens? This is already agreed. What? Bad reputation, right? Is there anything else?
There can be financial penalties if that's.
If it's enforceable by the smart contract system, yes. If that can enforce it automatically, yeah. So but we're talking about a part who's not complying now. But
yeah,
yes.
But if they put in deposits, that can be lost. It can be right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which is.
And that's how it's done. Yes.
That's one possibility.
Yeah. So if it's challenged, and it's an important part of the legal strategy. That was why we started with the legal method. We have to sneak in precedents. We have to start court cases. And as I say, important, let it always be about content of the contract rather than the validity of the agreement. If we go in and we start engaging in discussions about where the Bitnation system is valid and legal, then we're going to lose. We have to go in and focus on that the contracting system is purely valid. We will only focus on the dispute in the courts and making sure that we keep it that way. Because if we go through court precedence, and it doesn't matter if we win or not. It's a question about that our contracting system is not disputed. So we have to try and make cases where that won't happen. Some low-level stuff could be me and Sonia, for instance, willing to get married, a blockchain marriage. We talked about a practical case where we're in Switzerland and claim the tax deduction that exists based on the fact that you're married. Then you get a tax deduction. Would they accept our smart contract marriage and get a tax deduction based on it? If yes, wow, it's a little recognition. And we have to sneak in these small recognition in all small kind of cases. What we will do is Bitnation will support whoever goes into these cases. I personally will, take it, and if people wants to go in court and challenge systems, you have the full support of me and Sonia. We will support you. Then we will have real-life testing. That is what we're actually doing, and this is actually what I said. We can build precedents by having this method. There's two things. We want to save whatever work we do and persist it, as it's called, and we want to save it to the database and relay the result to the community and to everyone to use it. So when something happens, important legal point is made, it's important that this is spread out, especially through the diplomatic network, Eric, that when we have other questions that regards a certain country, or we have a result from another country, it should be spread out to the ambassadors, so they know about it and so they can assist. We will do that by building a data model for law. It's about dissecting the way all laws are built and objectified. By doing this, we can build a database with a data structure that is both informational, so if we need information, we can make a query to the database, but also important to make it comply with the artificial intelligence data structure that will come later on. I discussed it with Kenneth, and it's a way of serving an AI structured information about law and law results, or case results. That's what machine learning is about. It's what was the foundation, what was the basic test, and what was the outcome of a human processing. That's what we're doing. We're making the law database and the result database. For one purpose is serving the diplomatic network, and second thing is to support the future development of AI. Legal results that we get can be inputted to this database, and if another law system, that's one country where we have results from, it can be used in that country. If you have the same case in another country, and we have the same case in a similar country with a similar law, we should win the case. And in this database, we will have these planned cases, as we talked about. We will collect case history and also research other micronations. We're talking about having a database about, I think there's about 82 micronations kind of known at the moment. Go through all their problems and see if they have any legal results also, and build that into the database also. Simply, our work will, to make it simple, be improving this database on a daily basis, because it's our result and it's the legal law collection of all countries. It's everything. So our daily work will be about building this database and research countries and what kind of law they have. For now, we've been looking for countries that nation well, which is of course most important when we are starting. I think I went over this a lot, but it's important that we get a good cooperation here about transferring legal results to you. I don't know how we're going to manage this practically, but maybe you can be the connection between the Lillieholm and ambassador network. but we will agree something how we do it. But the result relay. Yeah, we're talking about here also that we could, as soon as the diplomatic network is substantial, we could arrange teaching sessions or discussion sessions where the people are interested join discussions, and we found a common ground. Yeah, just to take it point by point, we'll arrange these lessons for the diplomatic future contracts to avoid known pitfalls. Of course, it's all a result of the database. And diplomats should assist in local law research. This is also important, that if you have an ambassador in South Africa, that if we have an issue, that we can use him, ask him the questions. Can you research local law? How is it? And especially in countries where language would be a problem. Sonia cannot research Chinese. Impossible.
Hey, run.
Well, okay. Yeah, I never tried that before, so that will be fine. So that was it from us. I only have one message left. Freedom for all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.